So first of all, I would like to thank Marta and the whole organizational team of this conference to invite me to be a part of this. I think these kinds of events are really important, and it actually reminds me on the Women in Circus conference that we organized in 2009 in Zagrzeb as a part of our festival, which was kind of a breaking point for perceiving us as responsible or professional partners in those circles that still thought that you're just jumping around. Connecting conferences and the festivals, I think it's really interesting, because then they start to believe that you actually also think behind your art. And then when you also produce the book, which is 2 kilograms heavy, they think you're thinking a lot. And so it changes perception a bit. The title of this presentation is 10 years of Croatian experience. It's really hard to comprise in 10 minutes, as you have already seen with different examples. So I will not be also even using all the slides I've prepared, and maybe I will skip some of them. Mainly I put some pictures from the festival. This is not the picture from the festival. This is Harry Houdini, probably you know, one of the greatest magicians of all times. I just like the picture because I feel it connects somehow with circus being an outcast. So he's entering a straitjacket, and these gays, I just love these gays looking at these officers who are practically laughing at him. Oh, look at this crazy lunatic guy who thinks that he will live through his identity through freeing himself from the straitjacket. So sometimes I feel that, especially maybe in this eastern part of Europe or the countries where circus is still developing or still has to prove the reasons for it to be recognized as an art form, is like actually entering the straitjacket, doing it under the constraints, and trying to fight for that identity. So the festival started 10 years ago, and which is interesting, of course, in this period, it managed to present many artists from around the world. But basically, the festival is conceptualized every year, so it's never the same. And in the form or in the content, sometimes it's lasting 1 day, sometimes it lasts for 3 months. This year, in the 10th year's anniversary, it's lasting throughout the year. But also in the content, because we have been programming the program, more like curating the exhibition, for instance, or all the artists performing on the special edition of the festival has some kind of red line that is going through the whole program. It could be women in circus, as you have seen. It had been like dysfunctional families, new magic, Eastern European circus. So really different kinds of putting a spotlight on certain circus phenomena. And also this conceptualization, of course, of the program helped us to be perceived as somebody who thinks around it, which was really helpful, I think, also for reaching the media, to reaching the audiences, for actually stimulating people to come to see more than one show, to find out more about what circus is all about today. This also meant often programming political work, which is sometimes very engaged and not really mainstream. Luckily, we had a lot of audience usually, so it was not a big problem. But it was also there was also a big danger of failing, and I think this is also very important to defend in the circus world. Okay, these are some quotes, not important. Eastern European circus, La Putica, women's circus, French Moglic von Werks, queer circus edition with our own production with queer artists from all around the world. And then also, of course, by opening the space for different kinds of thinking about circus, we have also opened the space for experimenting or possibilities to fail for Croatian circus performances. I think one of the greatest achievements of the festival was actually to enable this possibility to fail, which sometimes theater and dance artists are taking for granted. The possibility to get on the stage, on a professional stage, in front of the audience, full audience, with a poster in front of the theater, with a professional critic in the audience, which will tell you something, maybe positively, maybe negatively. But in a way, it is a part of your growing process. And for instance, Room 100, the left one, is one of the companies that actually use this opportunity for failure on our festival, and just several years later becoming the laureates of Jeune Talent Cirque Europe project, which is a big European project for stimulating the emerging artists. So yeah, the difference was actually that 10 years ago, the circus performer in Croatia would be somebody who you would meet probably on the street with a hat, working more in a busking style. This was a big also experiment for them to create something. Of course, you know you're stimulated because you are being paid in advance for that, but in a way your show is not being composed in such a way that you want to end up with a full hat. It's something where you can also free your mind of what circus could be. And then as well, as we have been inviting all these circus artists from around the world, we have been using this opportunity to organize education for Croatian circus artists, because we are the country without professional circus school. So, of course, all these master classes or workshops have been very helpful, not only to learn how to juggle with 3, 4, 5 clubs, I don't know, but also how to think about circus outside of the box. Besides educating the artists, we have been also engaged in educating the journalists with the media, involved in European projects such as Unpack the Arts, which is basically circus residency for journalists, where the journalists are invited to a certain festival, circus festival, where we have been welcoming European journalists to come over to Croatia to experience the shows, to meet the artists, to interview them, to talk among each other, but also sending Croatian journalists abroad where they can also reflect on circus and writing on circus. And Unpack the Arts is just one of the networks, and you have heard Circostrada is one of these things. I think that this connecting internationally through Circostrada or through Meridians, which is a more street arts network for producing the work in non-conventional venues, and different networks of circus or street arts, or even just creative or cultural networks, it actually helped us to be also recognized as professional. And I think this is maybe the case with many small countries with big complexes, where you have to first try to find your place abroad, maybe like Room 100 as well, to be able to come home and then to be recognized as professional. I will speed up now then. So beside this, also, I could go on forever maybe, but artistic residencies, creative residencies, labs that are maybe not creative but more experimental. Even this year, for instance, providing one of the newest tools for Croatian circus companies, which is called the Croatian Circus Creation Export, which basically means if you are a festival and want to invite Croatian company, you just get in touch with us and we support their travel costs to come to you. So we managed to actually skip or to avoid the official way of how it's usually being done for theater and dance and for circus before, where you have to apply for the ministry support a year in advance. We managed to create these tools. For instance, now we are getting this carte blanche to say that we will be the ones organizing this system, how this will work, and then we will find the festivals, we will find the companies, and we will connect them. It's not something promising this company will go to this festival. It's really just proposing projects which are actually getting the funding for being important for the development. And basically, this is my question also. I think all of these tools that we have been creating are important, and I think this is the only way to push the art form forward, is by using the synergy of doing everything in theory and practice, and supporting from production to the distribution, for creation, for so many things. Doing this crazy straitjacket kind of policy of how you want to push the art form, but then also bringing it to some risky situations or jeopardize it, because the art form has to follow it. So if you create a big tool, if you create a big ship, the big cruiser that can go over the ocean, and put the poor artist on the deck, it might, if there is no capacity of dealing with this, how do you use this tool? Then it can really become an even bigger disaster. So in a way, I think it's really important that this development happens parallelly in all of it. Otherwise, we can end up with a circus which is stuck in the straitjacket from the beginning. Okay, and these are some not important things. Thank you.
Dziękujemy bardzo Iwanowi.